Hi all, good morning. We'll give few more minutes for everyone to join in. So let's start off by 11:02. All right. All right. Hi all, good morning once again. I'm Rahul, and I manage the Intelligent Automation Group here at KGISL. Thank you so much for joining in for the webinar today about embracing the new normal in insurance beyond COVID. I'm actually joined by my senior colleague and insurance expert, Mr. Senthil. We actually call him NSK. So NSK, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in.
Good morning, Rahul, and hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar session. Thank you for being here today.
Superb. Guys, let us start off with a small introduction about KGISL. Right. So we as KGISL, we had started around 25 years ago, 1995, with the Y2K programming, with the SAP setup, and with solutions. So from there to right now, it's been a long journey for us, right? And we've grown by leaps and bounds, right? And in that over a period of time, we have actually established ourselves in the ASEAN region as well, headquartered here in Malaysia, right? If you see on screen, we were judged the technology fastest 500 Asia Pacific by Deloitte, right? So that's a good pat on the back for us. Now again, as KGISL, we've been constantly in touch with all of our insurance banking companies here to give out solutions, say robotic process automation, SAP practices, QEA, and obviously the digital solutions, which we are going to talk about today. Right. Our focus for today's discussion is going to be mainly Asia, so we'll focus on ASEAN. The other regions are where we also operate out of. Right. So all of us are aware of these numbers. All of us are in this together, right? I think these numbers are from yesterday. Today morning numbers, I think we have already crossed 3 million infected cases worldwide, right? But the good news is that the infection rate is slowing down and the recovery rate is definitely increasing, right? The numbers for, say, Vietnam, Laos are relatively low, and hence, the recovery rate is still much better, right? So if you see the recovery rate for, say, Malaysia at 67%, Thailand 89%. So obviously we are slowly coming out of the whole pandemic situation. But having said that, we we believe that things like social distancing and work from home will continue for some more time, right? Even though the movement restrictions are eased out, people would still be a little more skeptical to move out of their places so that they can be safe. The most important thing that we feel going into the new normal is that we'll have to start unlearning to distance ourselves from others once things to stabilize a bit, right? Organizations at this point are looking at their operational expenditure and to in order to minimize and in order to optimize their bottom line, right? So as part of that, according to us, we want the insurance organizations to have a look at the digital solutions which could help them during this time, right? So I was actually able to pull out some numbers which are for the GDP forecasts, right? So if you look on the left, the initial forecasts were very promising, right? So for Malaysia, it was around 4.8% growth. But obviously, post the whole pandemic, the growth forecasts have reduced, right? But trust me, since this is a forecast, I'm sure that once things start to stabilize, we all of us together will come back strong, and we will be able to overcome this, right? Here on the right actually is a quick snapshot that I was able to capture from the ASEAN summit that happened on 14th April amongst all of the ASEAN nations hosted by Vietnam to have a look at how they can come together during this pandemic and work together so that the important aspects, say of basic supplies or medical equipments do not fall short, right? And we as an ASEAN group or ASEAN region can come out of this stronger, right? Governments are definitely stepping in to help wherever they can, right? So I have quick news snapshots from multiple different countries stepping in for specifically their insurance sectors to provide the support that is required, right? So the governments are saying that they will take care of the entire expenditure for the treatment if required, right? So let me actually focus a little more on the insurance at this point and give you a quick snapshot or a quick report from McKinsey, right? So McKinsey actually predicts that it will take us right up to the end of this year for us to come back fully from this whole pandemic, right? With the oil and gas sector being the most affected ones, right? Followed by obviously travel and insurance, right? What is surprising, and which I am very surprised. If you look at this report, it talks about disruption expected in new business underwriting due to dependency on paper applications, right? This is a McKinsey report, and in a McKinsey report, they are talking about the longer time it is going to take for insurance to come back because we are still very highly paper dependent. That is where we want to put forth and we want to mention the digital aspects or the digital solutions that can definitely help you come out of this much faster, right? Now, more from an insurance standpoint, we actually feel that the pandemic is going to pan out in three different stages or waves, right? So currently we are in the wave one, where definitely the insurers are seeing a reduction in demand, right? The renewals could be affected. The purchase of new policies, which were, say, in the middle, would have dropped out. There will be a reduced purchase of newer policies because everybody is still trying to stay at home, stay away, and trying to save themselves, right? From there, we will move into something called as phase two, where once the bigger events start canceling, then there'll be a payout that will happen in terms of, say, life insurance or income protection, right? Interestingly, just the Tokyo Olympics was actually insured for $2 billion, right? So it's going to be little difficult for the insurance companies once the claims start trickling in. But definitely the governments have already stepped in and they are helping out. Stage three is where I'm very excited about, because stage three is when the demand comes back, right? All of us individuals plus the organizations will start reviewing the overall aspect, and they will become a little more risk averse. Because of this, the faith that they have in insurance will come back, and that is where we think that it will improve or it will increase the demand moving ahead. From that aspect, I've actually put a quick snapshot of what are the important aspects or what are the important business functions in any insurance organization. Okay? So obviously, it starts off from a new business to underwriting, policy maintenance, billing and collection, and then claims. Right? As part of our today's discussion, I want to break this entire thing into three different aspects. Right? So new business claims being one and second, and the middle portion, which is say back-end processing, being the third. Right? So we will focus our discussions in these three aspects today. Let us start off with the first aspect, which is the new business. I actually want to give a quick understanding of what a flow of new business looks like. Right? So based on your organizations, this could be a little different, but this is a very generalized understanding of a new business acquisition. Right? So once I say as a prospect, understand that I need a specific policy, I will contact my agent, or I'll say contact the insurance company directly. Then they'll assign an agent to me. I will, once the policy is shortlisted, I'll fill out all of the physical forms that are needed. I'll attach all of the other documents that are there along with it, say my IC number, my address proof, all of those things. And I'll send it out to the insurance organizations, either through email, either through post, or I'll physically go and drop off at one of their branches or outlets, right? So from there, they'll actually scan the document, put it into their content management system. It creates a CRM for them, which creates a log. Then there is a data entry operator who actually physically views all of these documents and puts it into a digitized format. From there, it moves on to the validations sector required, reviewer, and then the policy is either approved or rejected. Right? Based on that, right now, we feel that the insurance companies have to have an alternative or a digital alternative for this entire thing, right? This entire process at this point is highly manual in nature, because of which you have physical forms, you need people to visit the branches, or you need the agents to come and visit, say, me as a prospect, which will be very difficult or may not happen at all during this movement restrictions. So having an alternative to this entire process in a digital format will definitely help the insurers. Right? So that is the first use case that we want to present. I'll hand it over to Senthil to explain the solution. Senthil, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. As you rightly mentioned, in today's world, the word new normal has become a buzzword. So probably we don't know, after this crisis or even in the new era, if we ask a question, so who led the digital transformation of your company? So probably it might be the COVID-19. So the thing is, like, the bottom message that we want to convey, we will be forced to digitally enabled solutions for a better customer experience. So in that case, uh, in the new business solution acquisition, right? So we can propose a solution model or an approach that addresses the paper intensive nature to a technology supported model. So we'll look at problem statement, so that's more appropriate at this stage. Let us say, for example, since there is an paper intensive model working out with the industries, right, insurance industries, right? So in this case, we are facing up with multiple problems like process inefficiency or poor data quality, or whether it's a difficult in portability, hard copy storages, or cost of managing the data, or high level material costs, high level of labor costs, or it can be an hard copy or physical damage that is missing out. In addition to this, so these are all traditional problems that we are facing in our day-to-day life. Apart from this, so there is a restrictions in the movement. How do we address in addition to this? So we need to have a digitally enabled solutions that can address address whatever the problems or the issues that we are facing in our day-to-day life. And so we should be able to address the movement control that we are facing now, and bringing up the customers to ensure they are able to access or purchase new policies, whatever it may be. So in that case, the solution we are looking at should be able to be very easily reachable to the customer, and also it should be handy. So in that case, we should be having a mobile app kind of a solution which should enhance to reach them even if they are at remote places, right? So and also it should be a tool to empower and manage the new business. So obviously to digitize any paper form to a e-form with the electronic forms. So capturing data can be made simpler and more accurate in that case. In addition to whatever the problems or the uh, things that we are facing right now, so there might be a compliance matter. So one is bringing in the signature of the customer, and another one is the authentication. So both should be addressed together. So in such a way. So let us look at a process model that can work for the current situation. Here, the scenario is like this. The customer wants to buy a new policy. So where he might be looking at customer portal or any other portals. But in addition to that, he will be required to be authenticated with his identity or with his real signature that needs to be present as part of that. Okay, moving forward, we will not be having such situations, so where we might need to go for a digitally enabled solutions that can address both these problems, and with a seamless integration with the backend systems to ensure that the data is coming into the insurance company. So here, the customer captures the information, provides the information to be filled into the proposal form, and then it's get validated based on the inbuilt validations and the business rules logics that's applied as part of the solution. And then it comes to the two parts. One is face recognition, or identifying the person from his ID card or the NRIC that he has provided. And second one will be the signature. Let us look at one by one. Here, the face recognition can be obtained or verified with the AI technology, where we will be able to compare the IC photo with respect to the lively photo that he is allowed to take it as part of the process. So there are solutions that we have or we can propose to ensure that. So we will be able to ensure the authenticity of the customer and with the documents that he is providing, and also to ensure that we should be able to capture the digital signature, right? So this way, so we were able to achieve the conformity that's been put forth by the regulatory bodies, and even if there is any compliance to be satisfied with the company's policies and regulations, right? So in this case, we will be able to have both the things in place, and then the captured information in the proposal form or whatever the document that needs to be submitted as part of the process, then it can be shared into the internal or the legacy system. So from there on, it will proceed to its usual backend or BAU process. So I hope this will be a better solution model that can help us during such pandemic situations, or even in the new normal situation that we'll be having in future. So to explain it in an illustrated model, so let us look at a video that can help us to understand more about this.
In the world of business, filling up of forms is one of the constants. Every industry uses forms to drive and fuel their processes. There are challenges faced when filling up and maintaining these forms, like delay in submission time, consuming too much of storage space, access by unauthorized persons, unable to find a document, difficulty in editing the data, high operating cost. To eliminate these challenges, more and more organizations are using the digital forms. Going digital not only reduces the cost of printing, distributing, and inventory expenses, but comes with other benefits that improves the organization of your workflow. The main purpose of the digital forms is to shorten work cycle and reduce the manual labor. Try offline eForm from KGISL, an offline application functionality which refers to the app's ability to offer all its features to users without network connectivity, including Wi-Fi. For example, it stores the data in the app's app box and automatically submits the forms once there is network connectivity. Our eForm solution comes with functionalities like data capturing, mobile app for Android and iOS, tracking the history of changes, capturing digital signature, easy to share over social media and other channels, secured and encrypted, offline desktop application, uploads supporting documents.
So this is the kind of solution that we should be looking at to ensure that we are able to address whatever the situation that is happening now, and the customers are able to reach us at the appropriate time. So without losing any business, we will be in a position to continue our business as usual.
Correct. NHK, thank you so much. I think this is indeed definitely a good solution and a need of the hour. Right. So interestingly, there is a question that we have. Is there a digital solution regarding distributing the policy documents digitally?
Yes, Rahul. So as I mentioned earlier, right? So the receiving the documents or enabling such a front-end solution alone doesn't solve the problem. There are multiple silo systems in the backend processes that is happening, which needs to be integrated seamlessly. Or even with the legacy system model, there are solutions that can address to bridge the gap that is currently as part of the process. So that will enable us to help us in releasing or sending us the documents outside to the customer or the agents or whoever is the service providers or whoever
maybe the printing agencies as well.
Right? Exactly. So in that case, so we should have a proper solution or bridging solutions in place that can help us in combating this problem. Okay, let us look at the problem statement, what it says. Okay, so here is a problem that the manual or printed documents are sent out as part of the process from the legacy or the core system, right? So in that case, sending out a document will take a week's time or more than that, because there is no proper seamless integration between the systems, and it needs to reach the printing vendor, or it should be it's a lengthy process to get it printed and sending out. Even with the kind of other forms of digital solutions also, there are still companies having with the legacy systems that are facing to issue the paper-based policies. As a part of the compliance, it needs to be, but it also needs to be addressed so that the electronic copy or the digital copy is being received by the customer upfront or within a matter of time before the hard copies are being sending out. So this is a kind of similar nature process or the solution that will if we can adapt to that, so we will be able to address those issues that we are facing in the current day-to-day life, right? So some of the problem summary in the manual documentations are legacy system, high processing time, as I mentioned, the longer average day delivery time, depending on the spool file. These are some of the technical issues that we will be facing in the operational process, like cost of the printing or the delivery cost, whatever it may be. So in any scenario, so we need to have an digitally enabled platform that can help us to automate the processes, and also even it can address the people where we are away from work, right? So in that case, so it will be helpful to ensure that so we have a seamless integrated model that can deliver the document that is going out from the company. We'll look at a process flow, a typical process flow in any legacy system kind of environment that we will be looking at. So there is a core system. The core system will not be exposed to the external world, and the information that needs to be captured from the core system, the data needs to be extracted and it needs to be processed into a spool file, and then it's sent to the printing vendor for printing. So this itself, approximately it might take almost 17 plus days or more than 2 weeks. So it's a huge time gap after we generate the policy when it reaches the customer, right? So to address such a similar typical process, so there can be a bot introduced to extract the information which can mimic the sim manual process, and even it can work for a 24/7 timeline. And once the data is been extracted by the bot, right, so then it can be fed into a scheduled kind of process or an FTP kind of process where the data resides for the document engine to extract. Then, okay, the document engine will be built in with a business logic and process operations, validations, checks, everything. So with this, the document engine should be able to form the data into a structured form to enable it to send out in whatever is the requested format, like sending out as an email to the customer, or it can be SMS document, SMS link that can be accessed by the customer to directly download the documents, or it can be a digital documents to the printing vendor. So this is a typical model that can bridge the gaps in the BAU process to ensure that there is a seamless integration and we are able to deliver the documents as and when required, right? So, right, so far we have been looking at the customer facing applications. So we have seen how the new business acquisition can happen with the digital platform, and also how the document that is sending out from the insurance companies are addressed. So then in such a format, so there are multiple other options that will be as part of the process, like selecting the product benefits and providing the information related to the customers and whatever it may be. So that forms the entire solutioning for the customer facing applications. What if, or what else we need to address from the backend solutions?
Correct, NSK. So, rightly mentioned. So, at this point, with the solution that we've spoken, we've automated or we've tried to digitize at least the front end applications. Moving to the back end applications, right? There is a solution which is called as robotic process automation, which can be used in this hour at this point, where people are not in offices, but they still want their BAU to continue to have the processes which can be seamlessly automated. Right. So let me come back to the initial slide where we started off with. At this point, we've seen how we can digitize the new business aspect of things. Let's have a look at the back-end processing that will help us handle underwriting, policy maintenance, billing, and collection, right? Which is using robotic process automation. So robotic process automation is nothing but a small, simple robot which can mimic a user interaction or mimic a user action to interact with multiple different systems, multiple different applications, to perform a transaction, to manipulate data, to trigger responses, right? Multiple aspects. So any process which is at this point manual, which is high in volume, which is structured, and which could be prone to errors are prime examples or prime indicators for RPA, right? Again, from why it should be looked at, right? I, as an employee, will work, say, for 8 hours in a normal scenario. Right now, since I'm working from home, my working style or my working schedule could be very, very erratic, right? But from a robotic standpoint, since these are systems that are working in the back end continuously, they can actually help and support 24/7 with a much, much higher speed and agility. Compliance is definitely a concern when it comes to anything relating to financial services, right? But given process or robotic process automation, that is taken care of because anything that the robot does is logged and can be bought back whenever required from an auditing standpoint, right? So this is the prime example of prime solution that we should look at automating multiple different backend processes. So this is a quick report from our partner UiPath, who is one of the top RPA player to mention this, right? So McKinsey actually calculates that 50% of the employee's time is spent in collecting and processing data alone, right? Just by using RPA, actually 19% of the time can be reduced, 34% of the time can be reduced only in data processing, and 23% of the time can be reduced for interaction time, right? Stakeholder interaction. Again, from a claim handling standpoint, 30% of the time can be reduced, and the claims can be processed that much faster. Okay. And this is actually one of the examples from a FT 500 insurer where using RPA, they were actually able to save 120 FTEs. Now, mind it, this is not about that they had to lay off 120 FTEs and hence the saving come through. The thought process here is that they instead of hiring more people or instead of bringing in additional FTEs, they were able to use automation to use that cost from an automation standpoint. Right? So quick numbers, which will help you understand that they were actually automating roughly around 800 odd processes, right? Which they were able to do in 65% of the cost, right? So trust me, these numbers, they look very huge, but they are definitely possible. We have ourselves been working with multiple insurance companies here in Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia to implement all of these aspects. Right. So here is a quick preview for you to help you start understanding and start thinking in terms of where this RPA can fit in. Right. So right from claims, right, different kinds of claims, the entire processing of claims could be your policy reporting, policy administrations, policy issuance, reissuance, right? Not only the core functionality, but also the supporting functionality like HR, admin, IT, all of those things can also be automated using RPA, right? So let me come back again to our base slide where we have actually looked at digitizing and automating portion of this. Let me actually move on to request NSK to help us understand from a claims standpoint what solution and what digitization is actually possible, right? Before that, let me actually give you a quick, simple understanding of how a claims process actually looks like, right? So if in case I am one of the insurees and if I have to make a claim, once I notify my claim to the, sorry about that, once I notify my claim to the company, it gets registered internally. And for multiple different types of claims, the company will actually assign an assessor or a surveyor to have a look at the claim, right? So if in case it's a vehicle damage or it's a building damage or if it's a theft, right, there'll be an assessor that will come. So assessor has to visit the property, or if in case it's a, say, a vehicular damage, I have to take the car to the garage and the assessor comes there to review the damage, right? So once he has done the assessment, he'll send out an email to the people, and based on this, he'll send out the email to the insurance company detailing out the damage, and based on that, the claims get processed, right? Now, understanding that in current context where there are movement restrictions in place, neither is possible, right? So if the assessor cannot come to the location, nor can I bring my car to the garage, for example, right? So again, we feel that a digital solution is something that would be required in this context. So again, I leave it to NSK to help us understand what's the digital solution and how the insurance companies can benefit from it. NSK?
Yeah, exactly, Rahul. So there are multiple situations where the assessment of a damaged vehicle or any other property is a manual intensive work, which involves a lot of physical activity and movement to the site location. And there is a lot of time involved to ensure to get the details before we take it for the assessment. So in the similar scenario, right? So what we are facing right now, there are solutions that we can adopt to ensure that to address the moment, the problems that we are facing right now, and also the timely manner we will be able to assess the claims and deliver it to the or make this payment settlement to the customers, right? So here, let us take a typical or classic example where a car met with an accident, and at the accident site, the insured is unable to take his car to the garage, and he is unable to make any new claim notification or send the details about the accident for him to get the claim processed, right? So in that case, so there are solutions or ways to address this. How do we address this? So let us have a live video streaming kind of solution in place. The assessor from the from the insurance company end, or even if he is working from home, so he will be able to view the live video of the accident scene or location. He can direct the customer to show him whatever the damaged or the key area parts that happened as part of the accident, and to get those details for his further assessment. So this is a kind of digital platform or the solution that we should be looking at to make the assessment remotely with the mobile camera in real time. And also these videos or the photos that we have captured can be used for further references in future. In whatever may be the situation, the key point that we are trying to address here is like, the assessment or the damaged vehicle details are captured remotely, and it is made available online immediately to ensure that we are making a faster settlement to the claimants. To illustrate the process, right? So this is the illustrated or the workflow process that involved in such scenario. So let us have an simulated environment to have a better understanding about the process that happens in the real time, and it will give us better to ensure that so we have such solutions in place to combat these kind of situations.
Any motor insurance claims, inspecting the damaged vehicles is the most tedious and time-consuming task. The assessor inspects the vehicle physically and submits the report for dispersing the compensation, which usually takes long. This results in delay in claims processing and accumulation of claims backlogs to the insurance firms. KGISL offers you a smart, feasible solution to overcome this turbulence: video assessment for quick settlement of claims. Using our video assessment for vehicle damage, insurers can now handle the claims remotely using any smartphone, laptop or tablet. On a single tap on the link received by SMS, the insured can get connected to the assessor. The damage suffered can be shown to the assessor without any hassle through the mobile device camera. The assessor evaluates the damage remotely and processes the claim, saving the manual visit time. Now your customers can display the damage in real time and file claims faster and more accurately than ever before. Our video assessment solution can be easily integrated into any existing claims management system, and comes with various features like HD audio clarity, live video recording facility, capture photo during the live video streaming. No mobile app is required to initiate the video call. Compatible in Android and iOS mobiles.
So this is the kind of solution that we should be looking at for future, to ensure that we are able to access the accident scene of information, or to get the lively photos or the videos in place to proceed with the claims processing, right? So before we move on to the next section, let us look at another video that can give us an advanced model where the insurance company should be focusing at in future.
No. It's just construction. That's all. No. I'm not driving. Are you okay? Yeah, you? I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, no, not you. Listen, I'm going to have to call my agent. I'm
Mr.
going to get
Burton?
right back to you.
Mr. Burton, this is Insure Corp. We've received sensor data that indicates you were in an accident. Are you injured in any way?
I'm not injured, no.
Is anyone else injured?
I don't believe so.
Okay, where's my agent's number?
We have pinpointed your location and we are showing your car is not drivable. So we are dispatching an Uber car to take you to your destination.
That would be great.
I'm pressing 1. English. E-N-G-L-I, English.
May we give your coordinates to our appraiser drone to perform the appraisal?
Absolutely.
We have received the photos, assessed the damage, authorized the repair, selected a qualified repair facility, and have dispatched a tow truck to take your vehicle to that facility.
Perfect.
Yes, hi, this is... Yes, I'll hold.
We have looked up the other vehicle's insurance, transmitted the appropriate data to create the claim, and filed the California SR1 accident report. Can you confirm the information is correct on your phone, then hit the accept button?
I'll check it right now. Okay, all done.
Thank you. Your Uber car is arriving now.
Ah, I see it coming.
Accident, not payment. Accident.
Your tow truck should be there now. Don't forget to leave your keys in the vehicle. Thank you for using Insure Call, powered by Pivotal Labs.
Oh, this was interesting, right? So this is the kind of solution that we should be looking at for future. And
Senthil, I'm
this is
sure.
not-
I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
we are not very away from this, because I've read some articles and seen some videos that in few of the regions, say America or China, they're actually having drones delivering a lot of say food or medical supplies at this point. So I'm sure this may not be a distant future. This could happen in the next few months for insurances as well. But this is definitely very exciting.
Exactly. You are right, Rahul. And moreover, so not only these things, there are researchers and testing or the piloting that goes around the world for an automated assessment. So with the photo, when we capture the photo with the deep learning technology, right? So we will be able to assess the damage of the vehicle automatically with the kind of the technology available. So it is not necessarily to be a manual assessment who needs to go through the entire estimation to identify which is right, wrong, all these things. So that's the kind of assessment process that we are looking at in the future. So it is happening around the world, and we are also doing certain researches in this aspect. So we have enough data to ensure that we will be able to come up with this kind of solutions.
Fantastic. So, and it's actually surprisingly, I know this is the next section of your discussion, but there is also a question that has come for that, which talks about, is there a solution for digital extraction of the data for the printed documents, say for claims or invoice?
Yeah, exactly. There are solutions, Rahul. Like we have been looking at the scenarios where we are able to bring in the new business acquisition, or it may be a document that is going out of from the company, right? So apart from this, there are situations or scenarios we are facing in the day-to-day operations. So whenever there is a document that is coming in, either it can be a physical document or it can be an electronic document also in that matter. So the data capturing is a big issue right now. There are it's a kind of large volume of data that needs to be captured as part of the process. If there is if we need to have it's basically a manual intensive work where the person needs to be dedicatedly working for such kind of monotonous work. So in that case, so there are solutions. We know that the OCR kind of things can address such issues, but that's not the way. The OCR alone is not capable of getting us the accuracy level. So we need to have an intelligent or cognitive method to ensure that. So we have a higher rate of accuracy when we have the data extraction in place. So where the ML based ICR extraction can help us to give us a better accuracy, and it can be trained for any new templates that is coming into the process. So this is let me show you a typical workflow or the process flow, how it should be working in an automated data entry environment. So there is a document received in a physical form, or it can be in an electronic form. The physical documents are scanned, and those documents are pushed into an designated location, from where the OCR ICR engine, the ICR engine should be able to extract and classify the information and post it into the respective target system. In this way, so we will be able to achieve the data extraction faster and with more accuracy. And in case if we have such certain exceptions, right? So we will just use the manual process to introduce that to address those exception cases. But moving forward with the trained model, we will be able to achieve the 100% accuracy with the kind of exception handling. And it also helps us to extract more information, that is what is captured in the current real world. For example, in the medical claims, there are multiple documents that is coming from the hospitals and the other external institutions, or even from the customers. So those kind of documents, information, only a summary of information or summary of the data is being extracted or posted into the claim system for further processing. There are a lot more other informations which are available as part of that, so which will be helpful for further analytical processes, like if it is a medical claims or health claims. So we will be able to have enough information for the fraud detection model, building a fraud detection model, or it can be used for comparative purposes. For example, if there is a surgery or a treatment that is happening, the same kind of happening for the patient or the customer, the same kind of treatment or the surgery that might be happening across the country with the different hospitals. So we don't have enough information for us to compare what kind of charges that is being made from different hospitals or different institutions for the similar kind of treatment. So in order to achieve that, we should be having an automated extractor model that can give us more details for building up or coming up with more predictions in future. So that's the kind of solution that we should be looking at moving forward. And so with the kind of solution that we have been proposing, or that needs to be addressed as part of the situation that we are facing right now, Forbes has been constantly insisting on certain traditional problems that needs to be addressed with the technology. It's a 12-step process which includes the customer focus. So far, we have been enabling solutions only for customer services. Now we have to move towards the customer efficiency, how effectively we are able to address customer needs. That's the kind of solution that we should be looking at. Or it can be an organizational structure that supports the seamless customer experience, or it can be a change management, so which needs a cultural transformation within the organization, and the transformational, which can be drive to the technology decision makers. And the technology decision making should involve the C-suite people. And of course, there should be a seamless integration in place for us to ensure that the data process or the operation happens very smoothly. So in addition to that, so while we are addressing technology based or cutting edge technology for the customers, in addition, we also need to ensure that the internal employees have a consumer grade technology in place. And moreover, the logistics and supply chain needs to be improved. And of course, the data security, privacy, and data ethics cannot be compromised at any stage. But with whatever technology advancements that we are proposing, that should be in place. And with the evolution of products, services, and processes, we should be able to provide a better delivery and with the digitization and personalized information that can guide the customers. This is the kind of methodology or steps that we need to adopt to ensure that we are enabling digitally enabled solutions. And finally, we need to have a strategic decision the way forward. Like in the current scenario, insurers' priority during this pandemic is to respond to customer and employee needs and to be prepared to strive and succeed in the new normal. So hope we will be doing that. So with the kind of technology lies behind where there is a creation, distribution, and administration happens at the back end behind the scene. So which should include solutions like which can be accessed through smartphones, or it can be an information that we need to extract or gather from the consumer wearables, or it could be an online policy handling as we looked at in the previous scenarios. And moreover, there should be a personalized offers. Nowadays, the millennials are more tech savvy, where we should have a personalized offer that can attract for more products that we are offering. And of course, the claims of processing should be automated with the workflow kind of environment to ensure that we are able to service faster and smooth. And the Xylo system should be automated. And there are predictive methods, as I mentioned earlier. So to ensure that either it could be a fraud detection, or it could be a customer churn, or even it could be an predictive underwriting. So there are multiple use cases and scenarios that is required with the predictive methods to run a smooth business moving forward. I think we have covered the.
Thank you so much, NSK. I think this was definitely uh, uh, fun, and I'm sure we were able to give our insurers a lot of idea about once they start to stabilize in the whole period, what are the next steps that they should look at and they should start focusing on. Right. So there's actually one question, NSK, which I'll need your help answering. How much time would these solutions take for implementing, and can it be done remotely in this lockdown scenario?
Yeah, it's not a big bang solutions that whatever we have proposed so far, or the scenarios that we have looked at, that it doesn't require a very large scale solutions to address all these things. With the kind of automated processes, or introducing an automated process, or with some tweaking with the technology solutions, we should be able to implement in a couple of months' time. So that's the kind of solutions that we should be looking at. Apart from the big bang or the lengthier solutions that whatever we intend to implement in future, so that might take some more time. So that may not address the immediate situation that we are facing. So it can be implemented in a couple of months' time. And moreover, productionizing is an important key factor that we should be able to achieve in a shorter period of time.
Right. How about what kind of IT infra is required for these digital solutions? Is the need for a very huge requirement of infra?
Not really. So if they have an online platform in place, we should be able to replace their existing platform. In such cases where we don't have any online platforms, in that case, we still can propose with the private cloud, or with the minimum hardware requirement, we should be able to achieve such solutions.
Or we'll also be able to put, say, part of the solutions as part of their current infrastructure, or as part of their current solutions as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? So something like the face recognition, because I found that very interesting. The face recognition could be put as part of their, say, POS systems, which they would have for your agent when agent goes to the customers for onboarding, right?
Yes, really. It doesn't require a huge hardware to implement. It just need an connectivity to bring on board the solution.
Correct. I'll take one which was actually initially I've answered this online, but I'll just for clarity. It talks about, can RPA connect with legacy systems in insurance, right? So definitely, insurance right now also has the core as a legacy system, which is the green screen systems the mainframe systems, right? So RPA works seamlessly with these solutions. It can actually connect with the core, something like an AS400, right up to your front-end systems, giving you a seamless movement of interaction, seamless movement of information internally, right? So it works perfectly fine. NSK, I think if you could take this one, are these solutions available over cloud enabled?
Yeah, obviously. So both on-premise and cloud environments it supports.
Mm-hmm.
So without compromising the regulatory compliances, we should be able to implement that.
Okay, fantastic. And I think there's one more which talks about, are these digital solutions only for insurance industries? So
Not really.
definitely not, right? The idea was, we wanted to address the concerns for insurance because we feel that insurance will definitely be a little more hit during these times, and they are under pressure, right? So we are trying to do our bit by suggesting the digital solutions which can help the insurance organizations come up or come out of this pandemic sooner. But all of the solutions presented today, right, from RPA to facial recognition for onboarding to inbound and outbound of information, right, everything can be used across industries in multiple different aspects, right, and can be used in the supplementary sectors as well. Right. Sorry, and let's say you were saying something. I cut you in between.
Yeah. That's the same thing I was referring to. So exactly, as we looked at the few other scenarios like onboarding the customer, the same can be applied to banking solutions also. So where we will be able to utilize the face recognition, and as you rightly mentioned, the inbound process. So again, banking or any other industry for that matter, it has a lot of paperwork involved. So where many of the information is left behind the paper alone. It's not been captured. It's not been utilized to the extent what it should be. So that those kind of solutions we are applicable for any other industry also.
Perfect. So I think that brings us end to the whole webinar. I think we are doing very well on the time as well. We have 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Senthil, thank you so much for sharing the understanding. Right? I really hope all of you have got some idea about where you should focus on once things start to stabilize. So I've actually had discussions with a few of my colleagues in insurance companies, and right now what I understand they're still trying to figure out how multiple different departments need to continue to work from home. Right? So that's the challenge that they're still facing in terms of say infra setup or connectivity setup, or as simple as using say Teams or Zoom, right? So I'm sure once all of these initial hiccups are moved on, these are the things that they have to start looking at to bringing their business back on track. And I feel this very strongly that all of us are in this together, and collectively we will definitely come out of this much stronger, and we will thrive, right? So thank you so much, and I really hope all of you guys are staying safe, and take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining today, and stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day.